The snow expected to continue like this overnight. The flight from Erie to Chicago Tuesday morning is already canceled. Donald Trump's visit to Ashtabula County is the first from any presidential nominee since 1960. How long do they suspect that Steve Stevens was in town? They said they're not sure about that. Well, to put this into perspective, we're here where the 3rd and 5th congressional districts meet on the Erie-Lawrence Park line. Now, where we are now in the city of Erie, that's represented by Mike Kelly. You go back here a few steps and you're into the 5th district, represented by Glenn Thompson. If you're just joining us here on Facebook Live, massive fire here at Humes in Waterford right now. Talking about garbage, this is what we mean. We look inside, you'll find chip bags, soda cases, and as well as that big plastic bag you're putting in, that is also garbage. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources confirming to us tonight one person has been killed in a hunting accident here in Ashtabula County. Police say tips from the public led them to this home behind us here in the 3200 block of Wallace Street. From there, police this morning served a search warrant resulting in one of the biggest drug busts in the city this year. Some of those ads aren't coming from either campaign. They're from outside groups. One of those is called the Friends of Erie. So we tracked them down. Their address located here at 707 West 38th Street. The problem is, as you can see, that's the UPS store, and when we called their Harrisburg-based number, they declined to comment. Well, we did some digging and found these numbers that show Pennsylvania has the 2nd highest corporate income tax rate in the entire country. The victim was shot in the chest. He is at UPMC Hammett at this hour. Meanwhile, Erie police still on the scene investigating this case. And Mike Amanda, yeah, until today, this was the map, this one behind me, split Erie County into 2 districts. Tonight, this is our new map. It's likely to stand ahead of that May 15th primary election. On the road and in the air, a Christmas Day travel nightmare.
It's been a mess. Visibility was horrible.
And by Christmas night, all flights into and out of Erie International Airport were canceled. The National Weather Service measuring nearly 2 feet of snow at the airport by Monday evening, a Christmas Day record. The cancellation ruining what was supposed to be a long holiday vacation for the Palucky family of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
We were going to leave our hotel room at 8 in the morning. Now we're arriving in the airport at 8 in the morning. So we just got to kind of cut out a couple things tomorrow.
And the snow expected to continue like this overnight. The flight from Erie to Chicago Tuesday morning is already canceled. Other passengers forced to stay in a nearby hotel. The storm not expected to pass until Wednesday.
The snowplow here at the airport got stuck on the runway.
Booked a flight, fingers crossed going out. If not, I'm going to try to get to a different airport.
But getting to another airport could be tough. Traffic in the eastbound lane of Interstate 90 Monday afternoon at a standstill. It took some teamwork to get this car moving again near Harbor Creek. The plows out in full force. Good news for the Palucky family, who's forced to stay in Erie for the night.
We plan on going back to my family's house, trying to figure out how we're going to get to Cleveland so we can get a flight out early morning.
A historic snowstorm snagging travel plans this Christmas holiday.
Senator Sean Wiley, and it's time to set the record straight.
Television ads like this one from State Senator Sean Wiley aren't cheap, averaging several $100s for just one 30-second commercial spot. So where are he and Republican challenger Dan Laughlin getting that money? Campaign finance records from the Pennsylvania State Department show Laughlin is actually raising double of what Wiley has since May, nearly $500,000 to Wiley's $224,000.
While Dan Laughlin's ads are bankrolled by the Harrisburg politicians.
It turns out Wiley's claim is mostly true. According to those records, Laughlin's biggest donor is State Senator Scott Wagner, spending $285,000 through the end of October, and that's just under his own name. Wagner runs the Reform Pennsylvania Political Action Committee, a group that has donated another $148,000 to Laughlin in the last 6 months. Wagner has confirmed he's considering a run for governor in 2018.
Sean Wiley's not fooling anybody.
But according to the records, Laughlin isn't the only one taking campaign funds from the Harrisburg elite. Wiley accepted $25,000 from State Senate Democratic leader Jay Costa to fund his re-election bid. That's on top of a combined $22,000 from top state education and union groups. But some of those ads aren't coming from either campaign. They're from outside groups. One of those is called the Friends of Erie. So we tracked them down. Their address located here at 707 West 38th Street. The problem is, as you can see, that's the UPS store. And when we called their Harrisburg-based number, they declined to comment. Combined, the campaigns have hundreds of other donors and volunteers. But some of the biggest aren't from the Erie area at all. They're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, all to influence your vote, which is, of course, free. Friends and family remembering the life of Charles Burns Wednesday night, gathering in the same arena he showed draft horses for decades.
I can't say enough good about him. You know, he was always good. You know, he was, like I say, he put his heart and soul into it. So
he lived for it. He was so passionate, and his family was always there with him because his wife was part of it, his daughter, his son-in-law, you know, everybody. It's a family affair.
The 64-year-old Sagertown man died Wednesday afternoon after he was ejected from a wagon during a youth draft hitch show, landing under the horse. He was taken to Meadville Medical Center, where Crawford County Coroner Scott Schell pronounced him dead just minutes later of blunt force trauma to the head.
They were just coming from a show, when the accident happened.
Burns was a longtime chair of the fair's draft horse department. For years, he dreamed of a draft horse show that became reality at the fair just this Tuesday. Because there were a lot of people in the arena at the time of that fatal accident, the Crawford County Fair Board is bringing in a crisis team to help those cope with this death.
A lot of individuals saw what happened, and we thought that it was best to bring someone in to help them through the crisis.
Burns was the owner of the horse, according to Shell. No word on whether or not he was driving the wagon at the time of the accident. Meanwhile, those who knew Burns call his passion for his work a lasting legacy.
You know, one of his things that he wanted to see was that hitch classic that happened last night. So it's great that that was able to occur.
this was his passion, was keeping a draft horse and the hitch classes and everything together, and he done a wonderful job at it.
In Meadville, Matt Knoedler, Erie News Now. Reed, thanks. We start with a developing story from overnight. Erie police are investigating a shooting on the city's east side. This happened around 10:45 last night. This is in the 1300 block of Buffalo Road. Police tell us this morning a 34-year-old man was coming out of his home when he was shot 7 times in the abdomen and arm. He was rushed to UPMC Hammett for treatment. Police are still on the hunt for the suspect and a motive as well this morning. Meanwhile, Corey police have arrested a local teen and charged him with 5 counts of making terroristic threats against Corey Area High School and its students. We start tonight with an accident involving a Perry Highway squad truck tying things up on Peach Street tonight. This happened around 7:45 between Keystone Drive and the Douglas Parkway. State police say the squad truck had its lights and sirens on as it approached a red light on Peach Street, heading to a call at Target. They began to clear the intersection when police say the driver of an SUV was crossing Peach on Douglas and hit the truck. No injuries were reported. It's unclear whether charges will be filed. Turning to weather now, John Stalen in for Reed this evening. And John, as I went to that accident tonight, it went from the wet stuff to the white stuff in places. What are we expecting for the week ahead? Welcome back to Erie News Now weekend mornings. Reed joins us again. Time to go trending, Reed, and we start in Alaska. The iconic Iditarod is underway. Check this out.
This event gets started at 1 today. Matt, back to you.
Sarah, mac and cheese and money, you got my attention. Sarah Minkowitz live there for us this morning. We'll see you later. Thanks, Sarah.